Hey, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when you may catch this particular broadcast. Super excited. Outspace Pelzer, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. And I am coming to do a check in. How y'all guys doing? How are you guys making out with your new normal? I know that many of us, depending on where you were, your children had a different schedule this week. They have gotten some more, some more information. They may be out longer, and all of these different things. Um, I know a lot of you are uh, people who have a business. Some of you are at jobs. So how is it? You let me know. First and foremost, let me know where it is that you're checking in from. Hey, where is it that you're checking in from? And how have you been holding out? You said you hate it. It's been interesting over here. We've been having it's interesting. I guess being in the house with four teenagers. It's always going to be some interesting conversations. I've been sharing some of those interesting conversations in my stories. If you have not checked them out, listen. In the morning, you just stretch your hands towards Maryland. I'm just saying. So I wanted to come with this quick motivational message for you guys because I have been getting your messages. I have been getting your emails. I've been getting the text messages of people that are really just kind of stuck. They're stuck. They're at a loss for words. They don't really know which direction they want to go in. They don't know if they should be promoting during this time. They don't know if people are spending money. They're scared. It's a lot of fear. A lot of the things that are being put out right now are fear based, and so um, people are running and signing up for courses and programs that they don't necessarily need because out of fear, this is what somebody said that I should do. And so I'm definitely going to shut all of that down. I'm going to chop it all up for you guys because I really feel like we're in a season and a time where we need to take clear inventory of what it is we already have, and we need to take action. You guys know that I stand on Numbers 30, Numbers 13, verse 30, where Caleb, tells them that we are well able to take the land. And that's in the midst of other people telling you that things cannot be done, in the midst of people saying that there were giants in the land and we were grasshoppers compared to them. And you're going to come across some people that are going to say that they're grasshoppers right now, right? Listen, come on. They're going to definitely say that you're grasshoppers right now in the land, and compared to everybody else, compared to big business. But in all actuality, that's not the case. I know me personally, I am a strong supporter of small business. Those of you who are small business owners, by all means, make sure that you let us know the name of your business so we can check it out and support you during this time, especially if you have something that is relevant to what is going on right now that can help. But I am all for small business. I've been shopping small business during this whole time. I have not stopped shopping. I've been shopping some bigger businesses. I've still gone and had to do some store runs to Walmart and Aldi's to pick up some things. But I think one of the things that we get is this fear mindset, this lack mindset, and for some it may even go back to a little deeper to being a poverty mindset. And unfortunately, there are going to be people that play off of that and play into that, and that's the unfortunately the way of some people. But I don't think that we should do that. And so someone said you definitely still need to promote and invest and add a way to make business that you can capitalize on during these times, which is a very good suggestion. which falls right in line with what it is that I want to talk to you guys about today. So those of you who are coming in, be sure to share it out. There's somebody somewhere that may need this information, no matter what platform you're checking it out on. And again, no matter where you're coming in from, let us know if you do have a business that can help during this time. We would love to know more information about that. Look, come on, come on, come on. Look, I'm a giant grasshopper, actually, right? And so we do have, the for women's active wear, which is great because right now, women, you are still working out. Men, you are still working out. I know a couple people that I follow. I know Tiara Pittman, who is our community fitness instructor and personal trainer. She is a powerhouse and has been sharing out some great workouts that you can do at home. I know that Raj Jones has been sharing out some great information for those of you who are caregivers or who have parents who may be seniors or elderly. That she's been giving out some great resources and tips for you guys. I know Dorothea Robinson has been giving out some information for those of you who are connected with any women that may be in a domestic violent relationship. And Tandy has definitely been going full force with power housing, and giving power and strength and educating and empowering those who are in leadership, as women who are in leadership, who are trying to elevate in leadership or who are trying to get their foothold in leadership. And so shout out to all the crew. I know what they're all doing, but I also want to know which is that you're doing as well, so I can shout you out. So finding your new normal. Um, I know it's interesting, but to think that, oh, well, why would we have to find our new normal? Every few years or so, something happens that shifts us as a world, as a nation. It shifts how we see people. It shifts how we interact with people. You guys know 9/11 shifted how we traveled. There's always something that is shifting us, and if we don't learn how to pivot, then what ends up happening is we end up falling behind or falling for one of the many scams that are placed out into the world. Can we be honest and real about this? Is that if we don't learn to pivot, then us holding on to what used to be our normal will put us in a vulnerable place. And unfortunately, I see a lot of people who are in that vulnerable place right now. They're in that vulnerable place financially, they're in that vulnerable place emotionally, spiritually, mentally. They're just in that place of vulnerability and they don't know which way to go. Again, I've been getting the emails, I've been getting the messages in my inbox, I've been getting all of these different messages from not just entrepreneurs who are new. And when I say new entrepreneurs are those who have been in the game for about 1 to 5 years. I'm talking about people who have been in the game for 10, 15, 20, 30 years who are like, I've never dealt with something on this level and this magnitude. And so right now I'm in a state of confusion. And so how many of you have gotten to that point where that's basically how you feel? You feel as though you're in a state of confusion and you really don't know which way to turn. Some of you may not want to speak up, and I understand, because you don't want to make it seem like you have that vulnerability, but the reality is that this is the way the world is right now. And that takes me to the first thing that I have to share with you guys, is that you have to accept that things have changed. Accepting that things have changed. Things are not the same as they were. I don't care. I don't care what side of the fence you stand on. I don't care if you're just straddling the fence altogether. No matter what economic level, no matter what you have in your bank account, no matter how many children you have, things have changed. It's a reality check. Things have changed. And so we have to learn how to accommodate the changes that are going on, because if not, we fall behind. How many of you can understand that? How many of you can understand getting to a point where you see everything else changing around you, and it's almost as if you're on a hamster wheel. You're running and running, but you're not seeing any progress. It's because you have not embraced the fact that there is change happening. So, what are the changes that are happening? And some of you may need to share this out, because there's some people on your timeline that need this information. When it comes to what has changed, how we do business has changed. Now, again, just 3, 4, I'll say even 5 years ago, how we did business changed. There was a huge shift, and people started buying more things online. There was this big boom in e-commerce, maybe even like 3 to 4 years ago. It was a big boom in e-commerce. And so people started to buy more online. Let me show you what is going on right now. The individual that sees things shifting and learns how to adjust to the change is the one that doesn't just survive, but they thrive. The one that learns how to adjust to the change is not just the one that survives, they learn how to thrive. And why is that? Because there is a new normal. People need something different. And so I was looking, and even in, paying attention to everything that's been going on. So think about it like this. You have a new normal going on. We have people that are in a state of panic. We have people that are thinking more about their bodies. They're thinking more about healthy living and healthier lifestyles. So that means that if you're someone who makes soaps, this is an opportunity for you. See, that's the difference. When I notice that there's a change and I can accept change, now I can look for opportunity. When I am unable to accept that things are changing, then I hold myself back from opportunity. Come on, come on, come on. She said, big facts. Come on. You have to have that understanding. And so, big corporations, this is a great time for them to pivot. Small businesses, this is a great time for you to pivot. If you've been saying that you wanted to start a business, this is the time for you to pivot. Why? Because opportunities are everywhere. There are 15 and 16-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 9 and 10-year-olds who are making millions of dollars right now. Why? Because they saw things were changing, and they decided that, okay, let me go ahead and be the answer. Come on. Come on. Let me be the answer for the problem that's at hand. Is your business idea, is your product or service the answer for the problem at hand? Come on. Come on. Is your product or service the answer to the problem at hand? The problem comes in is that many are not. And so you're sitting and you're posting links and flyers for stuff that people don't need right now. You're posting links and flyers for things that people do not need at this moment, because you're not being cognizant of the change that has happened. You're refusing to pivot. Now, some of you are refusing to pivot out of fear. Some are refusing to pivot because they don't know how to pivot. Let's be honest. Some are refusing to pivot because they think it's going to take a lot more money or work. But the reality is that in this time, right here, right now, is your opportunity. I told you guys, I stand on Numbers 13 and 30. We are well able to take the land. So while everybody else is speaking gloom, guess what? I know what I see, and I know what I stand on. And so in the midst of all of this, I have not backed down. My team know, and those who are in my community know. I have not allowed them to step down. I've not allowed them to back down. They are still launching things in this season. They are still moving forward with products and services. They are still moving forward with creative ideas. Because guess what? If you stop, the hardest thing to ever do is to regain your momentum. Come on. The hardest thing to ever do is to regain momentum. And I see so many people that started a business and then something, this is major. Let's be honest, it's major and for a lot of people, but something like this hurt them. And instead of them learning how to pivot, they just stopped in their tracks. You don't need to stop in your tracks. You need to figure out what information or resources you need that are going to help you to pivot. This is your moment to pivot. It doesn't matter what you were doing before this moment happened. It doesn't matter how you view this moment. This is your moment to pivot. And those of you that are unwilling to make that adjustment, you will be stuck and fall behind. Come on. Exactly. Come on, look. I'm an unbothered opportunist. People are opening businesses right now. People are starting programs right now. I've seen classes launch in this season. I've seen stuff happen right now. While other people are scared to launch and scared to market themselves, I'm watching people make money. And I even told my clients and my team, I said, Jeff Bezos just paid billions of dollars for Lord & Taylor in the midst of the coronavirus. Please understand, money is just a transference. It's transferring from my hand to your hand to the next person's hand. It's an investment that you can make in your business and in yourself. So if you're buying all natural products, if you're buying things to help with your fitness, if you're buying into programs, and there should be a return on the investment. There should be a return on the investment. But that's all that is going on right now. It's a transferring of money. And so the opportunities are there. Are you opening your eyes to see them? Are you opening your eyes to see them? I see you guys over on LinkedIn. You got to have that understanding. Are you opening your eyes to see them? Stop. Don't get scared. Don't be fearful. Make the advantage. Take the advantage and run with it. So number one is I have to accept that things have changed, even if it's temporary. So for me, a new normal is my kids are home. They have to do homeschooling. They have to do classes at home. That it's a new normal, because normally I would do my live streams in the morning, but I don't want to wake them up because I know that they have days full of classes and they got to work, they got packets they got to fill out and all types of other stuff. And so in order for me to shift, I'm going live at night. Now, do I normally go live at night? No. But if this is the new normal, even for a month, I can make that adjustment. Can I give y'all a real talk moment, a hashtag real talk moment? If you're so stuck in your ways that you're unable to make the adjustment when situations change, then is the business really about you, or is it about serving the people you're trying to serve? I'll wait. I'll wait. Is the business about you, or is it about you serving your target audience? Is it about you, or is it about you serving? If it's about you, then you don't want to make the adjustment. You don't want to change. You don't want to switch up when you're doing things. You don't want to live stream. You don't want to promote and do things virtually. You don't want to do a virtual summit. You don't know how to make the adjustment because it's about you. But can I tell you that the people that are having the best success are not, it's not about them? I don't know if y'all caught that. The people that are having the best success right now, come on, right? Hashtag catch it. It's not about you. It's about the people you serve. Are you stepping up to the plate in order to be able to serve them the way they need it? Reality check. Are you stepping up to the plate? And you may say, "Oh, well, I can't live stream because my hair ain't done, and I don't have no more makeup, and I don't have excuses." Learn how to pivot in the midst of a situation so that way you can not just survive but thrive. Number two, you got to find or create your foundation. Something that I always found is that a shift will show you the cracks in your foundation. Reality check. A shift, an earthquake, a fire, a disaster, something will always show you the cracks in your foundation. And when you see cracks in your foundation, you're either going to do one of three things. You're going to stop to fix the foundation, you're going to keep building on a broken foundation, or you're going to walk away. Come on. Whenever something comes to shift you, it's checking to see how stable things are. It's coming and checking to see how secure everything is. Some of you in this season, this was a reality check that your business was not as stable as you thought. For some of you, it was a reality check that your membership was not really a membership. It was about you. It was about you getting recognition. Some of you, that's what it was about. That's what it was about. Leah, Aaliyah. Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's what it was about. It was about you literally going and making the shift. So think about it. When there's a moment that shifts you, that shakes you, is it comfortable? No. It's normally something that comes out of nowhere. It's something that you weren't prepared for. Come on. Come on. Come on. It was something you weren't prepared for. It comes out of nowhere. It catches you off guard and it tests your foundation. Oh, yeah. The first one was you got to accept that things have changed, even if it's temporary. Accept that things have changed, even if it's temporary. And then the second one was find or create your foundation. A shift will show you the cracks in your foundation. A shift will always show you the cracks in your foundation. And many people, they just realized right now that their business was not a business at all. It was a hobby. Because there was not a consistent cash flow coming in. And this situation completely shifted what they're about to do. Come on. Right? Look, right? You got to go into mom mode real quick all the time. But you have to have that understanding. I have to shift. I have to make the adjustments. So I looked at my business. I said to my business partner, I said, we got to go through everything and look. And this is before Corona. This is how I love paying attention to stuff. Before Corona hit, we said there had to be some shifts and some changes for 2020. So we had to go and strengthen the foundation. We went ahead and did our purge in January. How many of you know that my clients, my team, we all did a purge starting January 1st. We have a whole workbook. We go through the whole process. We don't just purge social media. We purge all types of things. Why? Because we put ourselves into a space of being able to receive. Some of y'all can't receive what you need for your business because you hoarding stuff. Mm. That's that's a whole other it's a whole other broadcast. But some of y'all can't receive what you need for your business because you're hoarding information. You're hoarding a whole bunch of books that you're never going to read. You're hoarding a bunch of webinars that you're never going back and watching. You're hoarding information. Some of you can't receive what you need for your business because you're wasting time and you don't value the time that you have. And so you're not spending time doing the things that are necessary for your business, your brand, for your health, for your mind. You're not doing the necessary things. And so that part. But I'm going to get back to what we were saying. So when I had to find or create a foundation, what is it that you're standing on for your business? What are your values? What's your mission? Can I be honest? There was a real big boom in 2015 and 2016 of coaches. And a lot of these coaches came in, and when they came in, they gave you information and insight, and they gave you great strategy. And even now, they're, teaching you about ClickFunnels and all of these other things. But they went and walked away from you creating a foundation. And so many of you used this strategy, made some money, and then when you tried to duplicate it, you couldn't understand why you couldn't duplicate what you had already done. Or you followed the strategy, but you didn't make any money. Come on. I always get information from people who are telling me, but I did the strategy, I did the steps, but they're not making the money that they were looking to make. And it's because it was more than just the strategy that you needed. That part. Some of y'all don't need to buy another class. You don't need to pay for another webinar. Some of y'all need to go and get into an accountability community. Some of y'all need to go and get a coach that's going to put fire to your behind and not allow you to sit still. Some of y'all need to go, and even if you get a mentor, somebody, you need to get something. But you need to stop walking in the wilderness in this moment, okay? No more wilderness walks, okay? So number 2, find or create your foundation. When you find and create your foundation and you realize what you're standing on, what are your values? Some of you don't even have values for your business. And so that's why you're able to go and just go from coach to coach to coach, because you have no values. I know that's a little painful, but I can't let y'all keep running around in circles. I got to get y'all off this merry-go-round. Somebody say today is the day I get off the merry-go-round. Listen, I got to get y'all off this merry-go-round, because literally you going from one coach to another one. You got about 5 different social media trainings on your on your laptop. You got about 6 different books on funnels in your home. You got ebooks on marketing, and you ain't read none of them. You ain't went and took a class on nothing. You been home for 2 weeks and ain't read a thing. But you binged watch Netflix. Now, granted, I'm not no tea, no shade. Because there are definitely some things y'all listen, my team know and my clients know. I'll go on Netflix and watch a documentary. I do at least one documentary a week, because I always like to not only learn what's new, but I want to learn from those who did it before me. And so there are some great documentaries out there that can help you to excel in your business and your brand. So that's not a problem. But if you're spending 19 hours watching Netflix and you ain't spent no hours on your business, if you've been saying that this is the year you're going to write your book and you ain't spent no hours writing a thing, come on. Now that's a good point. So let's do a sidebar. So I've never paid for webinars because I feel like they are scams. And since I can't tell what's real or useful, I don't do it at all. But I would like some official info. This is the thing. So when it comes to webinars, I've been that person that I've gone and paid out money. I can't tell y'all how much money. I was just talking to one of my team members. I did my taxes and I looked and compared my 2019 expenses to my 2018 and 2017 expenses. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, chick, what were you thinking? What were you doing? You was doing the most, ma. Like, come on. That wasn't good business. But I learned from it. And so what I've learned is that when you set a foundation for what you want to do in your business and where you want to go in your business, then you will only sign up for things that are necessary for that journey. Can I tell you something? If you are going to walk up a mountain, if you're going to go mountain climbing, then are you going to bring a tent? Yes, because certain mountains you're going to have to need that. Are you going to bring a water bottle? Yes. Are you going to, there's some other necessities that you're going to bring, correct? Are you going to bring stilettos to walk up a mountain? Real talk. Like some of the webinars that people sign up for, bruh, you knew you weren't going to, you knew you weren't going to do Facebook ads. But I mean, some people are, but you need to know that. Have your foundation in place. Because when you have your foundation in place, now I can make wise decisions. I know people that are doing Facebook ads classes that will help you. I know people that do classes on, I know people that do classes on just about everything, especially with me being a podcast host. For those of you that do not know, I host the Speakeasy podcast. And so I've had 6 and 7 figure earners, CEOs, uh, all on my show from all over the world. So I can give you direction to anybody that you need. Real talk. If you need somebody to do a website, I can give you direction to that. But if is that what you need? That's the reality check. It's and you can't expect anybody else to tell you if that's what you need. You got to know it, because guess what? There's always going to be somebody willing to extort you. There's always going to be somebody willing to sell you FOMO. There is. If you're somebody that doesn't do really well with doing copywriting and all of that, I know people that can help you with that. What you need. But the problem comes in is that most of us, when coming into business, especially within the first five years, and I'll even go so far as to say the first 7 years, people don't know what they need. People don't know what they need. And so, come on, look, come on. People don't know what they need. And so you running around like a chicken with your head cut off from person to person because you don't know what you need. And then this is the other thing, is we don't execute. Come on. That's number 3. Number 3 is shoot your shot. The problem comes in is y'all have all this information and we're gathering and gorging on all of this information and we're not shooting our shot. You won't market. You won't put your brand out there. You want to put out a link and tag 99 people. That's not marketing. That's not marketing. You want to know why people pay so much for Facebook ads? Because if you learn the way to properly do it, then it works in your favor. But if that's not what you're going to do, this is the thing. Shooting my shot means I need to know what I'm good at and what I'm no good at. Real talk. I need to know what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. Because guess what? I need to know what I need to do on my own and what I need to outsource. What do I need to delegate? How many of you have delegated anything that you need, that you're doing in your business in this season? Come on, look. How many of you have actually delegated some things, some tasks? Or are you out here attempting to do everything on your own? How many of you have actually taken the time to sit down and say, what can I do? Or because I did it. I get it. In the beginning, you're trying to do stuff on a shoestring budget. I get it. I get it. But can I tell y'all something? And this is, again, somebody else may need this. Y'all may need to share this out. I, I've had people on my show who are making six figures without a website. I've been on the phone with women and men who are charging people $3,000 to $5,000 to be in a book anthology, and they ain't got landed page the first. So while you out here running around in circles, thinking that you need everything that somebody put out, somebody else is shooting a shot. I need y'all to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, shoot your shot. It was one of them moments. I need you to look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, shoot your shot. No excuses. Shoot your shot. And so some of you are going to say, well, what does that mean? Some of you know, Altaviz. Okay, some of you are like, Altaviz, you just told me I can't tag 99 people. So what does shoot my shot look like? Shooting your shot looks like being consistent. Because some of y'all, I can't tell what you sell from one day to the next. And that's just real. Shooting your shot is being consistent. Shooting your shot is looking at alternative ways to market your business and your brand. So I literally went, and I'm an introvert. So first of all, this whole being, you know, quarantine, it's not phasing me. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm all right. I'm all right with not giving people hugs and high fives. Okay? Real talk. I'm okay with that. But what it is allowing me to do is it's allowing me to show people that there are other means, there are other alternatives, there's other options. I've been doing virtual summits for about 5-6 years now, guys. I've been doing virtual summits and telesummits for 5 to 6 years. It's not new. It's not new. It's new to you because you were stuck in one area. And so when everything came and shifted and you saw cracks in your foundation, now you're moving towards that. How many of you are doing podcast interviews? And this is the thing. So many people ran and jumped to go start a podcast, and some people are going to do really well with doing podcasts. Cherie, I know Cherie started her podcast. Go ahead, shout out, sis. I know a few people that have podcasts, and their consistency is what matters. But they're doing great with their podcast. I know other people that maybe it's not for you to start a podcast; it's for you to go and be a guest on podcasts. That's a way for you to market your products, your services, your business, your brand, and it's evergreen. Okay. I'm giving y'all, I don't know if y'all really hearing me right now. You need to find ways to get in front of other people's audiences, OPA. Right? And the problem comes in is that we're really scared about getting in front of other people's audiences. I don't know if it's because we're scared of rejection. I don't know if it's because we're scared of getting out there. Like, I don't know where the fear is coming from, but some of y'all, listen, you're not consistent. You got to just be consistent in showing up. Before I started my podcast, I was a guest on podcasts for 2 years before I started my podcast. Before I was doing my own summits and my own events, I was going and volunteering at events and doing other people's summits and going and being a guest speaker on other people's summits years before I started doing my own. I'm not like I didn't just show up on the scene. It may look like I just showed up on the scene because you may have just met me, and that's okay. How you doing? Good to meet you. But I need you to have this understanding. I'm never boastful about what I know. I'm never the one that comes on and telling you you got to do these 9 steps and then twirl around on your head 3 times. No, please stop. I, None of that is necessary. None of that is necessary. But the reality is that guess what? Somebody needs what you have. Reality check. Somebody needs what you have. Are you getting in front of the right people so that way you can get? And then people always tell me, "Oh, well, oh, I struggle with getting guests for my show." How, Sway? All these billions of people in the world and you struggle with getting guests? So then I always ask, I say, "Well, what are you doing to get guests?" Oh, well, I share out my podcast episodes when I have a guest on. That's not how. Wait, what? So you don't have a strategy. You don't know how to shoot your shot. I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm gonna be real. We've been out of y'all. Well, y'all have been out of work. I work from home. 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, how many times? And I want to see a number. How many times have you shot your shot? How many times did you shoot your shot in the last 2 weeks? I did 2 trainings virtually. I did a podcast interview. I have another training that I'm doing tomorrow. I did 2 trainings last week. I have a training I'm doing tomorrow. How many times did you shoot your shot in the last 2 weeks? Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. Because I know that a lot of people have not. How many times did you shoot your shot in the last 2 weeks? And what were the results? You want to know one of the results for me shooting my shot? I have feature stories for women all the way out through, I want to say almost mid-April. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You want to know what shooting my shot looks like? My podcast, my podcast guest list is full till like June or July. That's shooting your shot. It's consistency. Every time that I've gone and I've been live, every time that I've gone and shared, I've shared about visibility. I've shared about unmuting yourself. I've shared every single time. When I go live tomorrow, it'll be the same thing. When I do the training tomorrow night in another group on Facebook. And guess what? Some of y'all is in Facebook groups and don't do a thing. Real talk. Some of you are in Facebook groups and you do absolutely nothing. You don't network. You don't have conversations. You don't shoot your shot. You think shooting your shot in a group is posting for somebody to get you posting a link or you posting a flyer. That's not shooting your shot. That's not shooting your shot. Real talk. Shooting your shot is having a conversation that leads back to you. Look, I only had one brave soul who was like, no, I ain't shoot my shot at all last week before. Shooting your shot is saying, I'm going to be deliberate about my conversations and I'm going to have conversations that lead them back to my products and services. That's shooting your shot. Come on. And it can be just your podcast. Cherie said from shooting her shot, it was her podcast. because she's been actually working at the hospital. First and foremost, let's take a moment. Thank you for being one of our first responders. We appreciate all that you are doing in this time. We appreciate you for showing up and showing out. But even if it's just a podcast, because when they're on your podcast, they're now on your email list. When they've been a guest on your show, they're now on your email list. If you've been a guest on somebody else's show, now you have something that you can market outside of you just posting a link or a flyer. I get it all the time. I think I've had like 20 people sign up in the last week or so for my podcast. I accepted that things have changed. So we can't do live events. I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur. I can't do live events. I had a live event that I had scheduled for the end of this month. It was actually supposed to have been this past weekend, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I said, okay, great, not a problem. And even if you are a podcaster, you should be going on other people's podcasts. That's a whole other another conversation. Yeah, Cherie knows. Cherie's been on my podcast. It's a great way for you to build content. That's a whole other another discussion. So, number one, accept that things have changed, even if it's temporary. I accepted that things have changed. So my kids are home all the time. So I had to go and do things that were shifting. I shut things down. We had virtual field trips, conversations that were had. You know, you switch it up. Instead of me doing my lives in the morning, I may have to do them in the evenings. Okay, well, I know that right now I have them doing the majority of their classwork in the mornings. So that way they're not stretching it out all throughout the day. So if they can get it done early, then so be it. And then they have meetups for classes. So I saw things change and I made the adjustment. Are you willing to make the adjustment? Number two, find or create your foundation. A shift will show you where the cracks are within your business, within your health, within your life. Some of you, guess what? Some of you ain't got no snacks left. Let's just be real. Some of you have no snacks left right now. That was a crack in the foundation. And the snacks that you had were unhealthy snacks. It was a crack in the foundation. And so your kids being home for 2 weeks, you notice that all the snacks had sugar in it. So now your kids is bouncing off the wall. Reality check, real talk. Reality check. Or in 2 weeks, you didn't know, you noticed that you gained a few pounds. Reality check. Things changed. Make the adjustment. Look at your foundation. So when you look at your foundation for your business right now, is it a solid foundation? Is it a firm foundation? Meaning, do you have a way to continuously make money even in situations like now? I can't tell you how many messages I've received over the last few weeks of people who are fearful right now. People who are closing their businesses. People who think that they're done. They're giving up. I have others who I'm like, no, it's go season. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. And that's honesty. She said, yes, I'm noticing cracks. Are there cracks in the foundation? Reality check. Many people had cracks in the foundation and they did not want to talk about it out of fear. They don't want to talk about it. And that's okay. I get it. They don't want to talk about it because if I talk about the cracks, then there's this mindset that I'm less of an entrepreneur because I had cracks in the foundation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did you see Jeff Bezos started his business with a sign where he spray painted Amazon on a sheet and put it on the wall. I need you to stop thinking that you have to be perfect to be successful. I get it. But I need you to stop thinking you have to be perfect to be successful. I need you to stop thinking that you have to have the perfect strategy for you to be successful. I need you to go and invest in the things that are necessary for you to have a firm foundation. I have a firm foundation. I made sure my clients had a firm foundation. So in this time, when they were asking me questions about Facebook, about redoing their Facebook page during this time and all of that, they already have trainings for that in the membership. So they didn't have to go and buy anybody else's class. Come on. I'm I'm always investing in me, my team. I'm always investing in information, and I'm always listening to um I listen to those who are at a level that I'm trying to achieve. They have a similar foundation. And so I listened to Eric Thomas and the Secrets to Success podcast, and I'm listening to some of the things, and they just posted a video, and it made me laugh because it was like, or do you have a consumer mindset or a producer mindset? And a lot of us have consumer mindsets. And that's why we keep going and downloading the free webinar or the free ebook, because we have a consumer mindset. And I this is funny. So those of you, how many of you have known me? How many of you have been connected to me for more than 2 years? How many of you have been connected for more than 2 years? Because it's interesting to me. I'm gonna tell you why. Those of you that have been connected to me more than 2 years, you know that I don't do what everybody else does. I'm always, come on. I got some high, look, I got some me's, some highs, some listen, look, more than two. Come on. And so I don't do what everybody else is doing. What everybody is clamoring to, I go in the opposite direction most times. Why? Um, a lot of people are clamoring to it because that's the um that's kind of the in thing to do at the moment. So they clamor to doing one thing. It's not necessarily what everybody needs to be doing. And I got ridiculed for this. Years ago, I got ridiculed for it. And then recently, like within the last 6 months, I got ridiculed again. How many of you do freemiums? How many of you go and you have freemiums that you give out? Hey, doing good. How about yourself? How many of you have freemiums that you give out for people to get on your email list? And I not knocking it because it works for some people, but how many of you have freemiums where you get people on your email list? They get a free tip sheet, an ebook, something. So when I rebranded my business in 2015 into 2016, I had that was the thing at that time. 2015, 2016 was a big boost for everybody giving out freebies to get people on their email list. And I had grown my email list to I think maybe about 8,000 people on my email list. Um, Listening to what the gurus were telling me and doing all of these different things. And because everybody always talks about how you're supposed to have this really big email list. So I grew my list. I had about 8,000 people over 8,000 people on my email list. And they were just on the list. And so for me, it didn't sit well. Now for somebody else, they may be fine with having people on their email list that are just sitting there. I don't like emails. So I'm not sending out emails like that. I don't like opening my own emails. So I'm not gonna bombard other people with emails. So I did not do a whole bunch of freemiums. I stopped doing freemiums and I got ridiculed. oh no, you need to be building your email list, and you need to be doing this and you need to be doing that with this email list. And mind you, I was growing the email list, but people weren't opening the emails. How many of you have dealt with that? Where you're growing the email list and you're collecting all of these emails, but you're not seeing any conversion in your emails. You're not seeing any engagement, any conversation in your emails. And so I was laughing because I was like, well, why am I doing all of this work and I'm not getting anything back from it? So let me just go ahead and leave this alone. So I stopped doing a whole bunch of freebies, and I had my podcast. My podcast is one of the freebies, is that people come and they become a guest on the show. And then I segment my list. That's a whole nother other topic. I segment my list. So, that's something that's very valuable as well, segmenting your email list. If you're not segmenting your list, I don't know. I don't know who you're with, or what they're doing, because they're not teaching you to segment your list. I went and I'm like, okay, this is working a lot better for me because the people are actually engaged in my emails. And I went and I scrubbed my email. I went from 8,000 emails on my email list to less than 1,000. But my open rate and my click rate shot up. I think right now, I don't know if Tandy's on at the moment, but right now the industry average is like 13%, right? For emails. I think I want to say that the industry percentage is like 13%, 11%, 13%, something like that. And I'm almost at 30% for open rate, which is really, really good. But I had to come away from doing what everybody else was doing. Cause see, and this going to hurt and help somebody. I need you to feel this brick, and I need you to feel it well. Some of y'all need to walk away from what everybody is doing in order for you to start getting to the people that need you the most, and in order for you to start having success in your business. And so I stopped doing what everybody else was doing, and I went after my own path. And in going after my own path, I started seeing more success. So while they were struggling to get people on their email list, and then they were collecting people that they weren't converting, I was not only getting people on the list, but I was converting them for other things. And so people on my list were actually opening my emails and emailing me back. People on my list were starting to open my emails and actually respond. And unfortunately, that can't be said by a lot of people. There are people that I knew that had 50, 60,000 people on their email list and hardly and couldn't fill an event. I'm This is real talk right now. We done went past, the motivation that I was giving y'all. This is real talk. This is secret sauce. I knew people that had 50, 60,000 people on their email list and couldn't fill an event. And the funny thing was that the people, they were like recycling people on the email list. Like everybody had the same people on the email list, which makes it really irritating for people because now I'm getting emails from all of y'all about the same things, and all of it becomes irritating. Instead, I was going and branching out, and I was going and connecting with 6 and 7 figure earners. I was having them on my podcast. I was having them, they were in my email. They were on the listen, those of you who were there for the World Voice Summit in February. The World Voice Virtual Summit is an all month long summit. If y'all saw the speakers that we had, including the bonus speaker that came after the summit was done, you gotta have an understanding. Sometimes you gotta step away from what everybody else is doing. So number one, realize that there's a change happening. Look at the change, accept that there is change happening. I don't care, again, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. Change has happened. You either put up or shut up at this point. Reality check. Yes, we have to be in the house. Okay. Either put up or shut up. You either figure out how to make it work, or you're going to be swinging from a chandelier somewhere. I choose to make it work. What do you choose? Number two is look at my foundation. What does my foundation look like? Are there cracks in the foundation when it comes to my business, when it comes to my health, when it comes to my mental? Some of you can't handle this because guess what? Mentally, there was cracks in the foundation. Emotionally, there were cracks in the foundation. And there were cracks. And so this was the straw that broke the camel's back. This was the tipping point. But that's because there were already cracks in the foundation. Can I tell y'all something? And I need y'all to understand this. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care what part of the world you are from. It is okay to not be okay, but it is not okay to stay that way. It is not okay to ignore it. We are in a time where people are at a heightened anxiety level. They turn on the news. They listen, they talking to friends, and people don't realize the conversations and the stuff that they're sharing is only heightening the anxiety of people. And I posted it on my stories today. I said, be mindful. Ask yourself the question, is this spreading fear or faith? And a lot of things that people are sharing right now is spreading fear. Even if you were just meant, like you were just meaning to be someone who is educating people or bringing knowledge to people or proving a point. I get it. But is it spreading fear or faith? Because a lot of y'all are spreading fear. We got enough of that going on. Come on. Come on. A lot of we got enough of that. So some people, they did not there was cracks in the foundation emotionally and mentally already, and this has heightened that. This has triggered that. Some people were triggered to something that happened years ago, and so we got to be mindful of that when it comes to talking to our clients, when it comes to talking to people virtually. We got to understand not everybody's going to be at the same level, and that's okay, but it's not okay for you to stay that way. It's not okay for you to think you don't need help. Some of you, you need help in your business. You need help emotionally. You need help. Some of you, you need help. Brittany Johnson is actually one of the World Voice League community members. She's one of the accountability members, and she's here in the community. She has been going live and sharing live videos in the community. Why? Because she is a licensed therapist. She's a counselor. She's been doing teletherapy because it's needed right now with the social distancing and people can't come in. So she's been doing teletherapy sessions. Why? It's needed. Some people, the cracks in our foundation was with our health. Tierra has been going and sharing posts, videos of alternative workouts you can do, no matter what level you're on, that you can do in your home. There was cracks in the foundation, and the people that are in this community are going and filling those cracks. It's one of the reasons why I love, absolutely love this community, is because that's what they're doing. They're going and they're filling the cracks. Is your business a business that is going and filling the cracks? Then you need to say that to somebody. Let people know. And shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Stop believing people when they're saying people aren't spending money and people aren't buying. People are spending money on what they want. People are spending money on what they want. So it's an opportunity. Are you marketing your business? And again, marketing, please understand that marketing is not, it's not you tagging 99 people. Marketing is you having a conversation. Sharisa, I love this community too. Listen, they've been posting stuff. Listen, Thea posted here in the group, I think like 20 businesses that you can start at home. And a lot of them are in high demand right now. A conversation, guys. Conversation. There were some powerful nuggets being shared. Raj just did our expert series training on Saturday, and she was talking about, listen, do you have a will in order? Is your health insurance, is your life insurance in order? Is your paperwork in order? Are you looking at things? Like, she went in, and a lot of us, again, this was free information. Free information. We didn't have to pay for a class. We didn't have to pay for free information. Learn the ways that you need to shoot your shot. Learn what ways are going to work best for you. Do you need to do a podcast, or do you need to do podcast interviews? Do you need to write a book? I know I told my team, I said, we're just going to go ahead and do this book anthology. I wasn't going to do it. I was twiddling with it in my head, and then it kept dropping in my spirit, and I said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. So the next book anthology, we're opening it up. So we're doing an author call tomorrow night. Why? Because guess what? This is a time where people need their voice unmuted. They need their voice unmuted. Yeah, they need their voice unmuted. Now is a time where we need to be having conversations about different things and finding out. And listen, we need that stuff. Why? Because people perish for lack of knowledge. And when I'm so set in one way, I can't gain knowledge that way. Listen, people perish for lack of knowledge. So when you need something, ask for something. When something's going on, have a discussion with somebody. It's necessary. Some of y'all are in groups where you don't know that you have millionaires in the group. You got six-figure earners in the group. In the World Voice League, you have six-figure business owners in the group who have their own businesses. You have, listen, Tandy is our leadership development coordinator. Guess what? Tandy is about to be Dr. Tandy. Dr. Tandy Salter. Don't get so confused by what you see that you're not understanding who it is that you have the opportunity to be in front of and who it is that you're connected to. I tell people all the time, stop being so confused by the glitter and the glam, because there's people out here with pretty websites that don't know what they're doing. There's people out here with great graphics and logos that's scamming people. We got to do better. we can't expect better if we're not willing to do better. Reality. When I expect better, I have to be willing to do better. I can't expect better to come to me and not do better for my clients. I can't. It's not going to work. So for those of you who you may be catching this and you're like, well, man, I missed the information. Listen, the information is still here. Let's go. So much great information. Conversations happening on a regular basis. bit.ly/World Voice Community. You come into the group, you have a conversation. And this is the thing, and I tell people this all the time. People think having a conversation is me sharing a video into a group every day. That's not having a conversation. How many other posts have you commented on or engaged on? How many people have you actually met and had a conversation with virtually in Messenger? Y'all are in like 500-600 groups and don't engage or communicate in any of them. The opportunities are there, but people are not taking advantage of the opportunities. And I always get people that are like, oh, well, it's so many groups. I don't know which ones to stay in. Stay in ones where the conversation is relevant to you. Reality check. Listen, Sherry over on LinkedIn said, got 2 webinars and 1 live workshop late summer. Come on. They said you providing great nuggets. I'm hearing you loud and clear. You have to have that understanding and don't allow people to use you. You got to know. Again, my number 1, understand when things are changing. Look at the change, see the change, accept the change for what it is, even if it's temporary. Number 2, what is my foundation look like? Are there cracks in my foundation? Remember, listen, things will come up that will show you the cracks in your foundation. And when you see those cracks, you have to fix the cracks. Please stop ignoring them. Don't ignore the cracks. And then number 3, shoot your shot. There should be no day that goes past without you shooting your shot. There should be no week that goes past without you shooting your shot. I shouldn't have a conversation with somebody and they say, oh, well, no, I'm not marketing my stuff right now. Why not? Oh, well, I'm a speaker and we can't do live events, so I'm not What that mean? I told you I did 2 trainings last week. I have a training that I'm doing tomorrow. I have 2 summits that I've already done. I have another 2 that are scheduled out for the next 2 months, not mine, that I'm a part of. So what's holding you back? You. We can't put the blame on nobody else. We literally have absolutely no excuse right now. What's holding you back is you. Because the opportunities are there. They're there if you're willing to tap into it. There's somebody that needs what you have. Come on. Come on. There's somebody that needs what you have. There's people that are buying more than toilet paper. Sidebar. I need y'all to stop like hoarding toilet paper. Like, I need y'all to get your lives. Corona don't do nothing with your digestive system. It's respiratory, people. I can see if y'all were hoarding humidifiers or diffusers, but y'all got us out here looking like deets hoarding toilet paper. That part. I'm just saying. No tea, no shade. but we hoarding toilet paper. And corona ain't got nothing to do with your bowels. It's your respiratory, boo. It's up here. I can see if y'all were hoarding like asthma inhalers or something like that. Mucinex. I can see y'all hoarding Mucinex, something that takes care of like mucus, because that's what's happening. Is people the mucus is and they can't breathe. I that has nothing to toilet paper does nothing for it. And the hand sanitizer, that's a whole hand sanitizer is sold out, but soap and water ain't. I can't. But the soap aisle is full. I can't, y'all. I can't make this up with life. I can't. I'm making light of it right now. I'll make it. I can laugh about it. But real talk, y'all. The hand sanitizer is sold out, but the hand soap is not. The hand sanitizer is sold out, but the soap ain't. That was just. I'm sorry. I'll get off my soapbox. I apologize. Sorry, not sorry, but it did got real out here in these streets. We out here hoarding toilet paper. But again, it's a poverty mindset. It's us thinking we're never going to get any more. And folks, they said, I think at the Walmart, we went down the aisle. I'm gonna post the video because we were in there laughing so hard. But the guy said they had put the toilet paper out at 12, and before 1, it was gone already. The whole aisle. Toilet paper. But the soap aisle is just as full. I can't, y'all. I just need y'all to get your lives in order. So I'm glad that most of you said that you are doing okay. I saw someone say that they needed the information for the healthcare and the directives and things. So I'm going to make sure I come back and connect you with Raj Jones. We are in a time where, again, before posting, is it spreading fear or faith? Really, we have to have that understanding. But not just that, guys. Are we building a strong foundation for our business? Do we have cracks in our foundation that we need to fill right now? This is the time to fill it. You have nothing but time and opportunity to go and to read, to study, to get connected. Some of you need to be in an accountability community. You need somebody to kick you in the behind to make sure you're not spending money that you don't need. Because some of y'all are spending money and y'all don't need to spend the money because it's burning a hole in your hand right now, but it doesn't have to. So stay connected. We have even more conversations happening. Again, those of you who are in the hashtag World Voice League, hashtag World Voice League, hashtag World Voice League. Shout out to all of you. We see you. Shout out to Aaron Nobles and Dwayne Shig and Camille. Those are some people that have really been sharing some positive and uplifting messages over in the community. Julia from over in Italy, shout out to you, Julia. We love you, sis. We also have a few others. Fraser has been in the background. Fraser from over in Scotland. Shout out to you, Janine. Janine Cummings from the UK. Shout out to you. These are some of the people that have been like highly engaged in the community. Shout out to Paula McDowell. Oh my goodness, I just remember seeing the list too. Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Paula McDowell, she's actually about to do a class for those of you that are looking to. Now, I don't have on a wrap right now. I just got on my Slack, but those of you who are looking to learn how to do the wraps on your head, Paula is working on a class for you guys. Again, this is an opportunity for a lot of people. Shout out to all of our first responders that are in the community. We have some firefighters in the community. We have some nurses, doctors in the community. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for all that you have done and that you continue to do in this particular time of need. We are praying for you guys. Thank you for making the sacrifice of going and dealing with whatever you may be dealing with in your particular area, because we know every area right now is different. It is varying, all across the globe. Um, and high fives and hugs to all of our global community from all around the world. Africa, we know that we have quite a few people from Africa. Virgin Islands is in the community. Man, it's just, I love it because it makes the conversations even better. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. I done went over the time that I said I was going to do that part, but I think this was some great information for you guys. Um, Hold on to it, because guess what? You're going to need it. You're gonna need it. You're gonna have to come back to this. Hope you shared it out. You're gonna come back and take a few notes and come back and learn a few more things so that way you can make this year the best year. I don't care what's going on. There is a way for us to turn this around. Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. There is a way for us to turn this around, and it starts with us, the individual. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing week. If I do not catch you on the live or on the replay at any other time during the week, I hope you have a phenomenal week. Looking forward to some great things happening. And until next time, guys, man, don't forget to press it out. See ya.